Hi, my dear friends, back after a long time, and I know it has been many days that I didn't upload a video. I guess the civics videos are uploaded. So actually, those were shot before my exams, and my exams continued for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then of course after that I had the share holidays and I didn't have that much time to make or create a video. But now I'm free and I'm available, and from now onwards there'll be a bomb blasting in this channel because I'm gonna upload it video by video in very fast manner because I have to cover it. So this chapter is actually based on you know two words: metals and non-metals. Actually, these materials, all those minerals are categorized into three types: metals, non-metals, and metalloids. The metals, they have metal in raw form. Non-metals, they don't have metal in raw form. There could be gaseous in many times, but not always gaseous. Sulfur is your example. Now metalloids means it's kind of a mixture of metals and non-metals. You're getting the point. Now here we have few materials here: iron, aluminium, copper. What are they? They're metals, we know that. And sulfur, these are non-metals. Now these metals and non-metals, these have different properties. They have physical properties, they also have chemical properties, we know this. Now when we talk about physical properties, there are few things like malleability, okay, malleability, ductility, sonorous. If you understand these three terms, you can ace this physical property subtopic. Now when we talk about malleability, it the property of metals, you know by which the metals are beaten into thin sheets, that is called malleability. Now oh wait, it has gone there. Yeah, now many metals, they can be beaten into thin sheets, but not non-metals mostly. So of course metals can be beaten, so it has the property of what? Malleability. It's malleable. And of course metals are they're good conductor of heat and electricity, and they're also ductile. Ductile means the property of metal which shows that it can be drawn into wires. Okay, it can be drawn into wires. Metals can be drawn into wires, but mostly not non-metals. So that it is ductile. It is. Now what is sonorous? Sonorous means metals which produce ringing sounds. Of course metals produce it. So metals, what are the metals? Of course this property is again belonging to metals. So metals are also sonorous. Now when we talk about non-metals, they aren't hard. Okay, they aren't hard. They're not malleable. They can't, they can't be beaten into thin sheets. They're not ductile. They cannot be drawn into wires. They do not produce any sound, so they're not sonorous, and they're poor conductor of heat and electricity. Examples of non-metals are sulfur, carbon, oxygen, phosphorus. And metals, of course, remember iron, aluminium, copper. And now when we talk about chemical properties, this is the easiest one, to be honest. Chemical properties. Now in the reaction with oxygen, now there are two things we know: metals and non-metals. When metal reacts with oxygen, it produces metallic oxide or basic oxide. Okay, why is it called as basic oxide? Is it is metals are basic in nature. Okay, metals are basic in nature. That's the reason it forms a basic oxide or a metallic oxide when in reaction with oxygen. Now non-metals, when they are in reaction with oxygen, they form acidic, what do you say, when they're in reaction with oxygen, they form acidic, acidic oxide or non-metallic oxide, because the non-metals are acidic in nature. Now let me take example of metallic oxide. Now let me take example of sodium. It's sodium oxide. You're getting the point. Sodium plus oxygen is equal to metallic oxide or basic oxide. But here it's not your metallic or basic, rather it is sodium oxide. And now when we talk about potassium oxide, okay, when it is in reaction with oxygen, it becomes potassium oxide. Now when we talk about sulfurous, okay, now when we talk about sulfurous, acid. Like how is sulfurous acid formed? Simple. Now you have sulfur dioxide, isn't it? You have sulfur dioxide, which is formed from sulfuric powder and oxygen reaction, sulfur dioxide. Now when this sulfur dioxide is reacted with oxygen again, it forms sulfurous acid. And this sulfurous acid is acidic in nature. You're getting the point? Yes. And 1 minute. Now let's talk about reaction with water. Now metals, when they react with water, they form metallic hydroxide or metallic oxide, metallic hydroxide plus hydrogen or metallic oxide plus hydrogen. Okay. Now if it is potassium, now potassium plus water is equal to potassium hydroxide plus hydrogen. You're getting the point. Now when we talk about non-metals, but before that we have sodium. Sodium is one more very reactive metal. It's after potassium, the reactivity series. It reacts, vigorously. It reacts rapidly, or what do you say that? With rapidly with oxygen and water. A lot of heat is generated in this reaction. It is therefore stored in kerosene. Generally, non-metals do not react with water. Okay, these non-metals never react with water. The only thing is that the one non-metal called phosphorus is very reactive non-metal. It's highly reactive. Now if it is in air, it catches fire easily. You're getting the point. So now to combat that, it is stored in water, phosphorus. Now let's talk about reaction with acids. Okay, so now in reaction with acids, we have a table over here. Now magnesium ribbon is there, aluminium foil, iron fillings, copper peeled flexible wire, charcoal powder, sulfur powder. Now let's talk about hydrochloric acid, HCl. When we talk about magnesium ribbon reaction with hydrochloric acid, it is possible. Aluminium hydrochloric acid, possible. Iron hydrochloric acid, reaction takes place. But in a copper and hydrochloric acid, the reaction doesn't take place because according to the reactivity series, the copper is down of hydrogen. Now let me show you the reactivity series because you would be confused. What is Auguste talking about? So yeah, let me show. It's loading. I got it. Images. Yes, let's take this as an example. Now for 8th class, you just don't see this carbon one because when I asked the same thing to my own teacher, she told it's not, actually needed in this class, but you will understand afterwards. Now, according to our, just let's learn what is in our 8th class. You can see that above, from potassium till aluminium, they're highly reactive. From zinc to lead, they are moderately reactive. Now, from copper to platinum, they're least reactive. But above copper, there is hydrogen. When you have hydrogen, of course, copper never reacts with hydrochloric acid. You're getting the point. The copper never reacts with hydrochloric acid or hydrogen gas. And charcoal, when we talk about charcoal powder, charcoal doesn't react with HCl. And sulfur also, I guess it doesn't react. Yeah, it doesn't react. Now, when we talk about reaction with dilute sulfuric acid, when we talk about the reaction with dilute sulfuric acid, magnesium reacts with sulfuric acid and forms magnesium sulfate. Aluminium forms, aluminum sulfate, iron sulfate, copper sulfate. The four reactions are taking place. Charcoal and sulfur, the reaction doesn't place because non-metals do not react with acid. Now let's talk about bases. Now in bases, metals react with sodium hydroxide to produce hydrogen gas. Now what you have to understand is, okay, before going into this, I forgot to just tell you people about pop sound. How does it occur? Pop sound, it actually occurs, I guess, in which process? Pop sound occurs with hydrogen gas. Now, like when you have, hydrogen gas, in some tube, and when you bring a matchstick near, like could be above it, what happens is sudden pops, pops kind of, they like the pop sound is produced. That is some kind of energy produced. Now this pop sound, oh, 1 minute. Yeah. Now this pop sound which is produced, when we keep like, if you know the hydrogen gas there on the above of it, if we store hydrogen gas in a test tube, and on the above if we keep a matchstick, suddenly it pops up here. It pops. The pop sound is created. Reason is it is highly reactive. We get to know that. Now when we talk about reaction with bases, here in reaction with bases, of course, when metal reacts with sodium hydroxide, it produces hydrogen gas. Now, like sometimes when we get to know the presence of hydrogen gas, when the pop sound is there, the pop sound indicates the presence of hydrogen gas. You're getting the topic. Yes, and when we talk about the reaction of non-metals with bases, it's very complex. I guess you'll learn that in higher grades like 10th, 11th, 12th, but not now presently in 8th. Now let's talk about displacement reactions. For this, you have to by heart, or you have to know the reactivity series. Okay. Now, for example, if we have iron sulfate plus, let's just assume iron sulfate plus aluminium, but that's wrong. Here aluminium is a highly reactive metal, so it displaces the lower reactive metal from its soil solution, and it produces aluminium sulfate plus iron. You're getting the point. It same happens with copper and iron. Now when we talk about copper sulfate, okay, copper sulfate plus zinc. Here zinc sulfate plus copper, because here zinc is a highly reactive metal which is resembling or displacing the copper. Now the copper sulfate, the soil solution which was blue, it will become colorless. Now when we talk about iron names, copper sulfate and iron names, we learned in physical, I think physical and chemical changes chapter in 7th class. Now in that topic, what we learned is copper sulfate is being replaced as copper, iron nails, whichever are there, it displaces the copper from its soil solution. So it becomes, the blue changes to green, iron sulfate plus copper. You know this. Now let's learn about uses of metals in non-metals. In metals, of course, it is used for manufacturing many gadgets, many things, and metals, non-metals is essential for our life, because oxygen is a non-metal which was required by our living beings to inhale, and non-metals are also used in fertilizers to enhance the growth of the plants. Nitrogen is used, and non-metals used in water purification could be chloride. In that process, chloride is used in the water purification process, and non-metals used in purple colored solution which is applied on wounds as an antiseptic. And sulfur is used in crackers, and sulfur is what? A non-metal. So this is the end to this metals and non-metals chapter, and I will meet you guys with one more chapter. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Bye bye.